today's a big day because Deano is a secret foodie. He's actually a builder. And we were down the pub recently having a yarn, and I said to him, Dean, I said, you're a fine-looking, strapping-looking fella. What's the secret to success when it comes to keeping such a tight physique? Sorry to put you on the spot there, but we have had a lot of people messaging and going, oh, who is that handsome man on Facebook?
Well, thank you very much.
So what is the secret to being fit? Now, you're a builder, it's high energy. What's the key?
I think it's that combination of obviously your work during the day.
Yep.
But at the same time, trying to balance out, how much good food you actually can take in.
Yeah, because builders eat pies, right?
That's the problem.
Oh, right.
The problem is the fact that during the day, the convenience, when you're caught somewhere short, it's going to be pie, it's going to be a sandwich that's been made at a gas station.
Right.
And as soon as you go to eat that thing, you start to realise that it's not a sandwich that you would have made at home. That's
so
for sure,
true. And then you finish eating your pie, and what do you want to do? Have a sleep, right?
If you've eaten,
eaten too much.
Too many.
I know that's happened to me.
Definitely.
Carbs are not great for me. I've just learnt this over the last few weeks, and I've completely changed my body. Actually, I've lost about 5 kilos in 4 weeks by eating less carbs and eating more protein.
Yes.
Is that kind of a lifestyle you subscribe to as well?
Yeah, pretty much, I'd say. Yeah, that sort of thing. I think I like to eat probably, far more protein than carbs. Yeah.
So I have to ask, pies, hamburgers, it's a lot of processed food.
Yep.
Clearly you don't eat processed food a lot.
Not if I can help it, no. That's
so what would be your go-to? So you've had a busy day, you're managing a team on a building site. What's your go-to food when you get home?
Well, often if I'll make something that'll last in the fridge for as long as possible.
Yep.
And then that way there's always something when I get home late and I don't, when you're in a rush, you don't want to sort of have to make a big hour-long meal.
Yeah.
But
so
if you've
true.
made
And we don't want to eat biscuits either, because biscuits
that's
are
the
not
other
dinner.
problem. Yeah.
Wine is dinner, but biscuits are not.
Well, that's right. So if you can have something sitting there, often I'll make, say, like a bean salad, and it'll be just something that'll sit there, and when there's nothing else, you have some of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Tasty.
that's right. Sometimes I'll get a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
And you've always got something that's sitting there just to add to it to make a meal.
So this is what you're going to do today, right? A magical bean salad.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's just something that you can make. I mean, you can add more and more stuff to it. You can really, it doesn't have to be for anyone else.
Yeah.
So if you want to just put anything you've got in there, you can.
Okay,
but
so
I just
this
sort of
is
start with a basic thing. And
cool.
go from
So
there.
this is kind of a pantry recipe or a fridge recipe. You can look for things you got in the fridge as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Things growing outside in the garden. Like we've got some coriander today.
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you've just joined us in the show, welcome. We are live, and I can see there's a few of you watching the stream. So feel free to message in and ask questions. Say hi, because we love you guys being part of the show. And also, I've just noticed today, this segment is actually a new segment in the show, and we've called it What Would Deano Do? So Deano's a builder, he loves great food, he's got some awesome food hacks that over the next few months he'll be sharing with you, and we're really excited to bring that to you. So if you've got problems in your home, not so much with your love life, he doesn't want to guide you through that, it's not that kind of show, but if you've got problems, maybe something structural with your house, he's the guy. So all you need to do is send us in a message and say, what would Deano do? And Deano will be able to answer those questions in upcoming shows.
Yeah, totally.
Deano, let's plough into today's bean salad. Go.
Well, generally I just go into the pantry at home, and I've always got tins of all sorts of beans.
Yeah.
So I really just get a selection more just for the colour than for anything else.
Yeah.
So I've got cannellini, I've got some kidney beans.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put broad beans in, but I'm not a fan of them personally, so I put chickpeas in.
Oh, yeah.
And for some more colour, often I'll have whole kernel corn.
Yeah, cool.
And I like to put in celery and things like that. Really, I like celery, some people don't. But
it is an acquired taste.
Yeah, to me it just gives it some colour, because otherwise it's a pretty bland looking thing.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. So really I just sort of drain all the juice out. Or the
and by the way,
brine.
the recipe for this is on my website. It's coming up on the screen now there for you. Super easy to make. If you head to moniquebradley.co.nz, there's a handsome picture of Dean and the recipe in there. Now this brine that you're washing off, I believe the term for the brine is actually aquafaba.
Yes, so you told me
I
the other day,
know.
which is a surprise to me.
You can actually use that brine, and you can actually whip it up if you want to make a vegan version of like a chocolate mousse. You can actually whip it up, and you can add in some dark chocolate, melted dark chocolate, mix it through, set it in the fridge, and it'll make you a beautiful chocolate mousse.
Nice.
I know.
Sounds good, eh?
I know. Super easy, especially for people who don't or can't eat eggs. It's a really good option.
Yeah, well, luckily.
What would be your favourite bean?
My favourite bean? I would probably say that cannellini, to be honest.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
See, I'm quite a fan of beans, but I have to ask you, Dean.
I like green beans, probably.
Oh, yeah, green beans are nice. Beans, you know, there's that saying that beans means farts. How do you deal on a building site after a night of eating your bean salad? I guess you won't notice.
It's good if you're working outside, not as good if you're doing an interior bathroom renovation. That's probably, you know. But to be honest, it doesn't always play out. It depends if you've been eating a lot of other stuff that sort of is gonna sit inside you for a long time, let's say.
Ferment.
Then the beans probably add to it. Yeah.
I'm very pro bowel health, and I know that a lot of fibre in beans is amazing. But obviously, if you are tending to be a little bit tooty in the pooper, you probably want to eat slightly less. However, what I have learnt this week is some of the reasons why we have this going on is an imbalance. I've learnt this from working with naturopath Lynette Hill, an imbalance between potassium and sodium, and that can aggravate your gut as well. For women in particular, if you're getting a bit puffy, so I noticed over the last few months I was getting really puffy in the hands. It's actually to do with fluid retention, and that means I've probably got too much sodium in my diet and not enough potassium. That's been a new learning for me. Great way to do that, because I can't eat bananas, too high in carbs, is to use one of the ingredients we're adding today, which is actually avocado oil. It's actually higher in potassium than bananas are, so that's been a new learning for me. And do you like avocados and avocado oil?
Love it.
Oh, it's so good.
Definitely love avocados. Love making guacamole.
Oh, who doesn't?
But here's something to touch on that we haven't actually even talked about before now.
Yeah,
so this is a surprise.
This is a surprise for me.
Anything could come from this.
Okay, perfect.
But so you talk about different types of food. Our family, there's a sort of a history of bowel cancer.
Oh wow, I didn't know
so
that.
So that is another reason why I like eating more vegetables probably than eating a lot of meat.
I was going to say you probably eat less red meat as well.
I don't eat much red meat, no.
Yeah. I've been obviously working for the last year with Ray McVinney, Master Chef, and he is a big believer in eating less red meat. Yes, he still has a little, but less red meat, and he believes in Michael Pollan's view of eating more plant. That's the way that we should be living our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, we're herbivores after all, not just completely metasauruses.
No, that's true.
Well, no, we're omnivores. Sorry.
Omnivores. Yes, we're not.
Have to get that right. Now, I do have to thank Rachel Thompson. She's watching today and she's shared the show. How you going, Rachel? She's just messaged in and said hi. Lovely to have you watching. This is Deano the Builder. If you've got any problems, he's based on the shore. Happy to come in and tidy up your problems in your home if you've need some building or some renovation done. But he also whip you up a delicious bean salad, so that's a bonus. So obviously,
not every builder brings bean salad to their client sites. That's for sure.
That's true. Yeah. Now I was going to say, builders' lunchboxes. Yep. Have trends changed? I know I've had friends in the building industry for many years.
Yes.
It's always been the pies. It's always been they walk into a pie shop and that's what they have for lunch.
Yeah.
Have you seen changes as nutrition changes have happened in people's mindsets? Have you seen that happen too?
I suppose what I see the most is these. In the building industry, you get some guys that, are just normal sort of individuals, but you get others that are, say, gym people.
Yeah. Okay.
Those guys will work, they'll then go to the gym.
Yeah.
During the day, they'll be eating, they'll have things like they'll steam, say, kumara the day before and bring that to work.
Serious?
Yep.
Wow.
We used to, as I say, with the having, say, a roasted chicken from the supermarket even, at home, we'll just I'll split that off. Once a week I might buy one. I'll split the whole thing off, fill up a Tupperware. That sits in the fridge as well. And then sometimes just grab a smaller one for work, put some chicken in, put some bean salad in. It doesn't mean you might not also grab something down the road. Yeah, but you don't have to. You don't have to.
It's just a little added bonus.
That's right. That's what I find out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice. So it's good to see lots of colour coming through. When I was a when I was a children's entertainer back in the day, one of the things I used to try and teach the kids is about filling your body full of rainbows, because by eating lots of different fruit and vegetables and of all the different colours, you're adding in all the other antioxidants, which is of course good. And I'm a firm believer that you are what you eat, obviously.
Sure.
So the more processed food you eat, the more processed your brain is.
Oh, yeah.
And for kids, obviously, they're so influenced by everything they eat and everything that they're educated and thrown into in their lives, you know, the environment.
Yep.
So giving them as much positivity inside and out, I think, is so important.
Yep.
Now, you're a dad as well. Have you always tried to encourage your kids to eat well?
Yeah, I'm very lucky. They really like healthy food.
Oh,
I remember when my daughter was quite young, we'd go, if we went out to dinner, she would want green beans and rice, steamed rice and green beans.
Wow.
That's all she wanted.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Now, that was pretty, and then the kids would go to a party and there'd be things like chicken nuggets, and and as time's gone by, they haven't changed. They actually really like healthy food. Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
All right, so we're looking good. Now, this hearty feed that you're producing here, how long is that going to last in the fridge? A week?
Yeah, probably a week, because what'll happen is the day I first make it, I'll probably have that for dinner that night, and then over the rest of the week, I'll probably take some to work on different days, and then other days, I'll just, it depends. We're all busy. That's the reality.
We are all busy,
There's nights when I finish work, still get home, have to do invoicing, have to go through,
the joy of being a business owner, right?
That's right. There's just so many sort of things to do. So to have something there is just a real bonus, to be honest. I
totally agree. Okay, so what do we do next? Do you still need this one?
No, that's cool.
Brilliant.
So we've got our beans in there. We've got some corn in there. We've got the celery. So now we've got some colour.
Beautiful.
We've sort of got it in a container that I would probably tend to have it in myself, funnily enough.
Perfect.
Not if I was, presenting it to anybody, but if it was going to sit in my fridge, this is exactly how it would be.
So I thought that's what I've got.
Yep. So I really would get it. The next thing is, I like putting a bit of coriander in. I quite like the flavour. So there'll be a little bit of that.
Yep, so you use the stalks and, it's clean enough.
Clean enough for us.
You use the stalks and the leaves?
Yep. You probably can use the stalks, but I'm not a fan of eating,
for sure.
stalky bits. To be honest,
the stalks have a slightly more intense flavour as well.
Is that right?
It depends on your palate.
Yep.
So if you like it, if you're not a huge fan of coriander, number one, don't use it, or you start off gently with the leaves. My mum, who's actually a cooking teacher, could never eat olives and she could never eat coriander.
Is that right?
So she changed her taste buds, her palate, by actually eating a little bit of it every day, and I think it's after about 12 days, your taste buds completely change.
But just the smell of it.
I know, I can smell it over here. It's amazing.
So good. That's why sometimes make like a green Thai curry, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just that coriander. And again, you talk about avocados, making guacamole. So you got your lemon, your onion.
I've never thought to put coriander in it. Learning every day.
It's cool. So that's all our ingredients pretty much. So we've got a reasonable sort of colour combination amongst that. Beautiful,
looking good.
So what I found is because I like that coriander lemon thing. Yeah. Big but. I found if I'm not careful, I put too much lemon in, and it doesn't.
It doesn't work for you.
It doesn't work very well when I put the other bits and pieces.
Because you're layering the flavours now, aren't you?
Remember, I'm not a chef.
No, that's true.
I'm not layering either. I'm just putting it in. So really, I just put it.
I love it. It's real speak.
Someone else could tell me what I've done. I'll just tell you how I do it. So we've got a bit of lemon. What I really like is cracked pepper. Yep. Heaps of it. But
go crazy.
That's my preference.
You're taking most of this home with you, buddy.
Oh, cool. Yep. Is that the right way around?
You got to twist it the other way.
That way?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, how's that?
It works.
That's pretty good.
It's a bit like at building, Yeah. You got to know how to actually use your tools.
So have you noticed, with the guys that you've worked with over the years, when they haven't eaten well, has it affected their performance? Has it affected their mindset? Has it affected their energy? What is surprising is watching some guys, and it doesn't matter how old they are, it can be the young ones, eat at lunchtime and then pretty much be falling asleep, because we sort of have just 2 breaks a day. Yep. We'll have a half an hour in the morning, and that sort of combines our both smoke it, and then half an hour for lunch. But by the end of that half an hour, this guy's actually, sort of nearly nodding off. Are you for real? Well, I mean, how are you actually expecting to get work done if you've got people at work, that can't even stay awake? That's incredible. Yeah. Right, so you're going to add in the avocado oil. Avocado oil. This is really, really important. I'm going to show you a little bit of information about why. Oh, hello, Jan Turley, who's watching today. She just said, Monique, you look stunning. I'm wearing your creation today. Thank you, Jan. I love this. This wrap today is from the wonderful people at Simply Beautiful. So thank you, Jan. You're amazing. On the screen here, we've got the reason why we in this kitchen use avocado oil. Apart from the health benefits, that we all know about avocado. Look, here's the thing. If you want to get the right amount of amino acids and omegas into your diet, you'd have to eat a lot of avocado every day. To be able to get the nutrition that you need from avocado without having to eat that amount of avocado, especially if you don't like the flavor, it's just a case of actually adding maybe a teaspoon or a tablespoon into your daily diet. Even if you live off smoothies for breakfast, add a teaspoon of avocado oil. It's loaded with potassium, again, great for that balance with the potassium sodium makeup in your body. It's got naturally good fats, it's high in fiber, it's got everything that you need. It's a complete food. So particularly for those of you who might be vegan or vegetarian, it has the same amount of omegas that you get from deep sea fish. So if you don't want to eat fish, which I don't want to eat fish, I'm not a fan of fish, this is a great way to get all that goodness into your diet. In fact, I use it every morning, Pete. Don't I? I'm just talking to Pete, who's our producer here today and behind the camera. I use it every morning, or Pete uses it every morning, and we cook eggs for breakfast.
Good.
It's been the best thing I've ever done, and we cook it in avocado oil. And not only is it great, but the flavour is sensational.
It is.
What do you think of the flavour of that?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good, eh?
Yeah, very good.
So that's just looking great. Now, while we were on the other screen, you added in some balsamic as well?
Yep, definitely balsamic. So years ago,
I'm just going to switch your element on.
My mother used to make a bean salad, and I used to love it. Mm-hmm. The thing that I found when I tried to reproduce it, because she passed away years ago, was you were using, if I remember rightly, it was one of the vinegars, cider vinegar possibly.
Oh, yeah.
And there'd be about half a cup of sugar that would have to go in it as well.
Oh, really?
Now, I looked online and I found a lot of other people making the same thing, said the exact same thing. So when I started making bean salads for myself, the thought of putting half a cup of sugar into a salad just was like, so then I thought, well, I'll do what I do when I make a normal, like a green salad for myself, and I'll just use balsamic and olive oil. And I found it worked perfectly.
Oh, there really you go. Good, there's a food hack right there.
So yeah, I find the next day it gets even better because obviously
it's got time to marinate.
Yeah,
and
the
things
vinegar
like that.
gets right in really nicely, but it's just really a bit of a balance of those, those different sort of products that we've got.
How's it tasting to you? Good. So Deano did admit that normally this stays in the fridge, and when he gets home from work and he doesn't know what to have for dinner, he gets the bean salad out and snacks on that until he can work out what he has for dinner, and then realises he's no longer hungry.
That's exactly what happens. Often I'm not hungry, and that's it.
Bit more balsamic?
Yep.
So is it quite tart? Is that what you're looking for?
No, I don't find it actually is. It seems to just balance out quite well. I think that salt sort of helps it. But again, some professional food person will tell you how that works. All I know is that it seems to work quite well. And it's tasty to you. Yeah. So you're going to pair that up with a very quick kind of omelette-y, eggy scramble. Yep. So it is a protein-based dinner or even a breakfast. This would be great for breakfast too. Yeah, you could certainly eat that for breakfast.
And some eggs.
I find that it's nice just to have something like this that you can eat whenever you want. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's no right or wrong. It's just something that you don't feel guilty when you eat it. Yeah. I mean, at 10 o'clock at night, if you're hungry, you can eat a bowl of it. Yeah, that's so true. I'm not sure if you should, but you can certainly do it. So Deano was just saying to me the other day, I want to do a scramble. And I said, why is that? And he goes, because you can do it so quickly and you pay so much money when you go to a cafe for it. Let's just do that to go with the beans. Yes. So that's what you're going to do really quickly now. Pan's already on. We've got the avocado oil in there for you. So we just got 2 eggs. So the other night he comes into the studio. We were talking about what he was going to do in today. And I said, do you need milk? Do you need cream? He said, no, just eggs. Just eggs. How come? Well, because it's another one of those things. Yeah, when you go to a cafe and buy scrambled eggs for breakfast. Yeah. It'll say scrambled eggs with cream, scrambled eggs with something. Yeah. I suppose I just get tired of food that's got all this other stuff in it that I never really asked for. At the end of the day, don't you want to eat something that you know what's in it? I don't want all this other rubbish put in it. I just have to say. It's so good. Now, if you can hear another voice, we have Katie English on the couch. We'll be talking to her very shortly about insurance and asking the big questions. And she's also joining in the conversation as well, which is so nice because that's what the studio is all about. Right. It's awesome. What do you think? How's it going, Katie? I'm just wondering when I'm going to get the invitation for dinner. Right,
I love
let's
it.
do this. Let's do this. So we've got a pan that is hot.
Yep.
I won't do my normal trick that I told you.
Which is you spit in the pan.
I do. Just to see. But I won't do that for anyone else. I won't do it. So all we do is we've got that.
I don't think Katie wants to come to your house for dinner now.
The pan has to be hot enough so the eggs start to sort of
cook straight away.
Go straight away. Yep. And then we just keep moving it around.
So you see the secret is to keep moving it, right?
Well, yeah, because you don't want it going into it or turning into a sort of a rubbery thing because some bit's been sitting on the element for more time than anything else. So look at that. What have we done? 15, 20 seconds?
That's my
Pretty much. That's it.
Mine takes so much longer. I think because I
move it round.
put milk in with it.
And that would be it. I wouldn't do it any more.
So plate that up.
Like that.
Beautiful. Nice job.
Turn the element off.
Good job.
Because
I'll move that out the way so you can plate up.
Osh would be happy with me doing that on my building site. Again.
So many comments.
Plate it up like a builder, not like a professional. But there you go.
Beautiful. How's that? Yay! You've done it. There's a builder's breakfast or a builder's dinner for you made by
That's
Deano.
Right. Any time of the day you could have that.
So when
and
we
you're not going to feel guilty, are you?
No, that's
you
true.
Know? That's the beauty of it.
So when we ask what would Deano do, Dino's here to get you the answers. So Deano, give me some.
Thank you very much.
Nailed.co.nz. Now, a couple of questions or comments have come through. Rachel Thompson said, I'm good, thanks. Totally getting some avocado oil again. You've re-inspired me. I used to use it a lot. So there you go. Nice. Fantastic, Rachel. That's what we love to hear. And she said, loving the cardi colour. Thank you very much. Thanks to lovely Jan from Simply Beautiful. Look, it's great to have you guys being part of the show. That's what these shows are all about. And if you do want to try that avocado oil, there's the details here on the screen. It's not available in store. You can only buy it online from our friends at Guide to Better Shopping. You can have it delivered straight to your door. Really cost effective, really good for your health. I'm going to put it straight out there and say I'm relishing the benefits. It's really helped with my weight loss over the last few weeks. And even better, the most important thing to me is it tastes great.
Tastes lovely.
Yeah, it is good. So head to guidetobettershopping.com. I believe it's right there on the front page. So take a look at that. And if you've got a great product that you would love to show here in the kitchen and you want to feature on our show, we are always looking for people that we want to shine a light on and make them look more sparkly and starry. So if you've got great products, brands, or you are a person with an amazing inspirational story, get in touch. Email us at info@yourfix.tv. So Jan Turley, yes, recipe is already on my website, moniquebradley.co.nz. So, Deano, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
You are a star. Are you going to eat this while I interview Katie?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It'll be in my teeth later.
Oh, perfect. Now, coming up, I've got a quick bit of wisdom from lovely Michael Ayres. Now, he is, in fact, a naturopath at My Remedy, a company that I've been doing a lot of work online with because they've got such great values and a great story to help spread the message of natural medicine and wellness to as many people as possible. Now, Michael is a medical herbalist and a naturopath. And he had an amazing life change, which completely changed his career. So I've got a quick video that we shot when he was in the studio, sharing a little piece of wisdom from Michael to you. Here we go. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Mike Ayres. I'm a naturopath and medical herbalist, and I'm here to give you some career advice for my one piece of wisdom tonight. I used to be a winemaker and realized that what I was really passionate about was natural medicine, due to my own health journey and the benefits I'd received from naturopathy. So I'm really loving what I do now, and I think any of you out there not happy in your line of work, have a think about what you're passionate about and go for it.
So Deano is quietly tucked away in the corner eating bean salad and egg and keeping himself going because he needs to head back to the building site shortly. Again, if you want to check out his recipe, head to moniquebradley.co.nz, and a big shout out to Michael Ayres for sharing that beautiful piece of wisdom. Right, it's time for a very big segment now where I'm getting tough. I'm getting tough on the couch today, asking the big questions. Today's a spotlight on insurance with my lovely guest here on the couch, Katie English. Check it out, stunning screen graphics there, my friend. Today we are going to open up the conversation. Have you ever wondered if insurance is a big scam? Is it worth it? Do you have the right insurance? Or are you bamboozled by too many options? That's basically what we're going to be talking about Kia ora, Katie, welcome to the couch.
Thank you.
Look, it's really good to have you here. Now, Katie is from VitalSure. If you want to find out more, you can head to her website, vitalsure.co.nz. There's a screenshot of her website right now, so you can check it out. Looking great there too. We are going to ask you the big questions now. First of all, tell me, Katie, what do you actually do?
That's a very hard question to answer. When I first meet people, I go to them mostly to talk about insurance. I'm a registered financial advisor, and that's primarily what I do. But I also talk about a myriad of other things. Their money-making machine, their family. Do they have a will? Have they got a trust? Are they in business?
Why do you go into all that detail with them?
Because it all reflects upon any kind of cover that we put in place. You can't just arbitrarily say, as a client once said to me, I want $1 million worth of life cover.
Yes.
The question behind that has got to be, why? And that's what I want to do, is to answer those questions. Why? Why do you need to have insurance? What is it going to do for you? And what is it there to do?
Gotcha. Okay. So I have to ask, I know you're in the industry, but I know I've had over my adult life probably 4 or 5 different insurance brokers over that time. I have never understood what they're talking about. I don't even know if I have the right cover. And I know there's a lot of people who have messaged me because I've put this topic out there for today saying, oh, I'm just not happy about insurance. It's a big scam. How do you answer to that statement?
There are a lot of people who say to me, oh, you're just going to try and sell me insurance. And doubtless there's a lot of people who think that. However, for me, it's about protecting who you are, what you have, and what you want in your life. And making sure that for the future, if something goes wrong, it doesn't matter what it is, whether somebody has an accident, whether they get terminally ill, whether they get killed in an accident. The question for me is always, what do you want to happen? How can we best protect what you have, what you've worked hard for to this stage to acquire in your life, whatever that might be. You might have a house, you might have investment property, you might be a businessman like Deano.
Yeah.
And none of us have got to where we are today by accident. We've worked hard to get there. So for me, it's important to protect that and to make sure in the protecting of that, it will work at time of claim.
Okay, so in a situation where somebody may be looking to get their first mortgage, how important is having are banks less likely to help you give you a mortgage if you don't have insurance in place?
A bank will want to have their borrowings to you protected.
Right.
And the way they do that is by saying, we want to have some life insurance on you and or your partner. And it's the same with a business. If a business has a loan, the bank is going to say, we want it secured and we want it protected.
Okay.
And so, yes, if you go to the bank and you say, I want a $450,000 mortgage, and they approve it, then they're going to say to you, that's great. We want to protect what we've loaned you. And the way we do that is through life insurance.
Okay.
But it's not just about the mortgage. It's about things like lifestyle. How many kids have you got? How much do you earn?
How many? Yeah, of course.
What are you going to be doing in the future?
So it's all the needs on your money, on your source of money that needs to be protected, right? So kids, all your bills, any debts, outstanding debts, things like that. So you take all of that into account for insurance.
Yeah, I look at people's liability, their risk if something goes wrong, if they can't work any longer, or they can't work for a period of time, or they can never work again. We look at the risks to that family, or to that person, or to the business that they may be running, and say, what are the risks? How big are they? And what do we need to protect?
Yes.
Not arbitrarily saying, well, you've got a business, so you need to have this much.
Yes.
Or not saying, how much do you earn will protect what you earn, when there's a whole business that actually provides that earning. But it's actually looking at, if you like, how much money you make, what you're worth, what your value is to your family, and how we can protect all of that. Because if you've got here in your life, let's say you're 36, you've got a great career, you've been to university, you've got a great career, you've climbed the ladder, you're earning a reasonable salary, you've bought a house, you've got wife and kids at home, just paying off the mortgage is still leaving your family at risk.
Wow.
nobody, if their partner gets really sick, from my experience,
Yes.
or gets killed in an accident, is going to go back to work in a week.
No, it's a really good point, actually. And if you're watching and you've just joined the stream, this is Katie English from VitalSure, and we're talking about putting a spotlight on insurance. Now, she's actually here to answer your questions as much as mine. So if you're not sure about your insurance, send in questions. I mean, one of the biggest questions that's come up through chats with people is, how do you even know if you've got the right insurance, or if a scamming insurance broker, and I have to say that, is trying to just upsell you so they can make more commission?
That's a really hard
It is a hard
to
question.
answer. Yeah. I don't want to belittle or condemn any of my colleagues in the industry.
Nicely handled. Yep.
That's right. However, it is important for anyone to ensure they have the right insurance
Yes.
for them that's going to work at claim time.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, you need to get a broker to sit down with you and explain the ins and outs and what you've got, how it's going to work, and if it's going to work for you. And it's finding the insurance broker who's actually going to be able to answer those questions to your best advantage.
Thank you. That's really clarified that for me, because over the years, I've been told a whole lot of stuff that I actually haven't really quite understood.
It's important, Monique, that your broker goes through your insurances with you and explains what they are and what they'll do. And very often when you apply for an insurance and you go through that process of filling in the forms, then of course that all goes to underwriting, medical questions are asked, etc. Then the insurance company will make an offer of insurance to you and say, Monique Bradley will offer you that insurance. There may be an exclusion because of this or a loading because of that. There may not. It may just be purely at standard rates. Me personally, what I then do is sit down with you again, or my client, and say, okay, this is what we've applied for. If you look at the proposal that I've given you, you'll see what that's all for. Let's go through that again, because doubtless you will have forgotten. It can be a period of 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months.
Wow.
I've had one application take 6 months before now.
Really?
Yeah, for various reasons. And it's to go through and to ensure that you completely understand what that insurance is, and you're happy with it, and that's what you still want for you and for your family or your business or whatever it might be. And then we tick the box, signed, accept, and we put the policy in place.
See, and that's so different. I don't know if you guys have ever done insurance over the phone or online. You can't get that same level of communication unless you go through a broker. And so when you're going through a broker, it's much more personalized to your unique situation. And obviously, if you're doing it over the phone, you're just telling the person on the phone what you think you need, but you may have no idea. Is that quite common?
The issue I see, and the problem I see with a lot of online kind of products, or you go and you buy insurance through. Now we've got people like the supermarket chains, Trade Me, and various people selling insurance. There's a couple of things that concerns me with that. Is A, do you really know what you need?
Yeah.
When you look at all the things that I've just mentioned, do you take those into consideration? But the bigger and the more important question is, what are the policy wordings? Where are the fish hooks?
Really?
How am I going to get caught out? And is, sort of the policy going to say in one of the clauses, 23.123, that if you don't declare this, this is what will happen, or we exclude this, or we're not going to pay under this condition? You're not going to know that. You're simply talking to somebody on the phone, or you're applying for a product online. How many people read terms and conditions? How many people will read a 25-page policy document?
So is that why we hear these horror stories of people who go, well, I had insurance and when it came to claim time, I didn't get my claim. Is it chances are that situation may have happened?
90% of insurance claims that are not paid out will be because of non-disclosure of pre-existing conditions.
Well, so that's why people have that philosophy that they're being scammed by insurance, potentially because they're not getting... Yeah. And we only hear in the media about horror stories.
The biggest one I had a long chat with Leighton Smith on the radio once a couple of years ago.
Yes.
You'll remember the story about the man who went to Fiji. I think it was Fiji. Went to one of the islands and he got flesh-eating disease in the leg.
Yes, right? I did, yeah.
And he lost that leg.
Yeah.
And he had trauma insurance. He had that in place and he went to make a claim. And his claim was disallowed.
Why?
Because the policy wording says 2 legs or 1 leg and an arm or similar. So the policy wordings, it's a legal binding contract, dictate how that policy will get paid out. If I were to tell you that in an income protection disability policy, with the amount of companies there are in that you can actually buy from,
Yes.
and the amount of different policies each company has, we've got something like 4,500 different policy wordings.
Oops, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never doing my
Minefield.
own insurance again.
Minefield.
Yes.
So you want to know the answers. You want to know, and not everything is going to be covered.
Yes.
But the things that are going to keep you off work, who are going to destroy your lifestyle,
Yes.
or have potential to destroy your lifestyle, who are going to, the things that are going to keep you off work for a long time.
Right.
I have a friend in hospital. She's been there now for 3 months through lymphoma.
Oh, wow.
That destroys your lifestyle. Everybody, family, friends, everyone is affected by that. So how do we protect what you've built up? And how does that get covered with insurance? So it is knowing what kind of things are covered in your trauma. And trauma is about a critical illness like cancer, heart attack, stroke,
Right.
multiple sclerosis, those kind of big ticket items.
Yes.
It's not going to be, I lost my toenail on my big toe. That's not going to be
I
covered.
dropped my phone down the toilet.
Not covered
Not
either.
covered, yeah. Though life-changing, just saying.
Yeah. So it's really important. All the different companies have different policies. They have different policy wordings. And it's really important that you work with somebody who knows what those are and can actually discuss that and work through that with you.
Right. So that would be the difference between going through a broker who can get you the best option from all of the companies rather than going directly to a company. Because if you go directly to one company, I won't mention any of the brand names, you can only deal with their policies, right?
Yep.
Whereas a broker will find you the best option across a broad range of options.
And 90%
Wow.
of people are going to say, I'm going to buy trauma insurance, and they won't, doing it that way, know what they're buying,
That is mind-blowing to me. Now, if you do have any questions, send them on through. I can see there's some people on the feed, but you are welcome. You are welcome to send your questions in, regardless of what channel you're watching on. It's lovely to have you guys with us. I do have a couple of other questions that have been sent to me through the week when people knew that we were doing this show today. What if I'm over the age of 50? Can I still get insurance?
Yes. You can pay more, but yes, you can.
Okay, perfect. What about, I know there's several of our viewers who have pre-existing health conditions. Is it a drama to get insurance?
It depends on how you define drama. What will happen is, whenever I speak to a client, a new client, I ask them, are there any issues, medical history that for you that could affect an application for insurance?
Right.
So they may say, I've got high blood pressure, or I'm diabetic,
Yeah.
or I have asthma. So we're very clear to put this onto an application form and to make sure that we declare everything. And then what we do is we get the underwriters to look at the severity of that condition, and then they will make an assessment based on actuarial evidence.
Yes.
How common is that? What's the likely outcome of that, etc. And insurance brokers are great at statistics.
Cool.
Right. And so then what they'll do is say, we're prepared to offer you that insurance. We're going to either exclude that, because for example, you've had cancer in the last couple of years, we're
Yes.
going to exclude that. So that's a foregone conclusion just about.
Yeah.
Or they might say, you have high blood pressure, you haven't been controlling it very well in the last couple of years, so we're going to load your premium by X amount.
Okay.
So it's very rarely that a client will be deferred. And what deferred means is we're not offering you insurance at this time due to these medical conditions.
Right. Okay.
I don't see that very often, but we do. It is very common to have exclusions, and it could be an exclusion for you've had a surgery on a reconstruction of a shoulder in the last 18 months.
Yes.
So it could be an exclusion for a period of time. And if you have a good broker, a good advisor, they'll be reviewing that with the insurance company on a regular basis.
I was going to say, most often, actually Rachel Thompson's just said really valuable info, Katie. People need to know the value of an advisor. I totally agree, especially as you're in the mortgage industry as well. They kind of work together, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. I was actually going to ask you, I have over the years had several different brokers, and I guess my reticence, if that's the right word, of working with a broker has been because they sign me up for something I don't understand, and then I never hear from them again. And then when it comes to claim time, because I have made a claim for my car before, I got told to ring up this phone number.
All too often, unfortunately, that happens. And that's one of the things that people complain to me about.
Right.
An insurance advisor, when they build a relationship with you, should know just about everything, including your inside leg measurement.
Okay, perfect.
Not literally.
No.
They should know as much as they need to know to make sure that you get your insurance at the best possible rate with the least amount of exclusions or loadings. They also need to know what it is you do and how you're going to, what happens if you need to make a claim.
Okay.
How it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
So an insurance advisor like me, I don't charge a fee. I get paid by the insurance company. I'm upfront about that, and I talk to my clients and say, you don't pay me a fee. I will be paid by the insurance company for the business that I put with them. Then, after 12 months, they'll pay me a renewal fee on a monthly basis.
Okay.
In my mind, and to me, my responsibility, because I am being paid for it, is to continue to look after you.
Wow.
I had an instance where a lady phoned me up and said, I want to make a claim.
Yes.
And it turned out she'd got Parkinson's disease. Now, this was a policy I actually bought because I bought a book of business in 2010.
Yeah.
So I hadn't put the policy in place. I didn't really know the lady very well. We'd had a couple of conversations and she'd said, no, I don't need a review. Turned out she had Parkinson's disease. Now, my job, because I was being paid renewals, I didn't get paid the upfront commission because she wasn't my original client, was to make sure that we got a claim put in and we got it paid in a meaningful amount of time.
Yes.
That was actually the one that took me 6 months to get through.
Wow.
Purely because we needed to do a lot of tests, medical things. And the insurance company, to be fair, were really supportive. They paid for those tests so that we could ensure whether or not she was actually going to get a claim paid.
Wow.
The severity of the illness,
yes,
matched with the policy wordings, would determine that. And we managed to get, quite interestingly, without any prompting, a letter from the neurologist,
yes,
who in his letter put a paragraph which actually word for word emulated what the insurance company had in their policy.
No way.
Yeah. And I had to giggle.
Yeah.
And sent it back in. I had a very good rapport. You see, what happens is you get one person in the claims department who will look after you and your claim.
Yes.
And that's the person I relate with and I work with. And I phoned her up and I said, you're going to love this. I'm going to email it to you now. And she came back to me and said, claim will be paid within 24 hours. And it was. But that took 6 months.
My goodness.
And it doesn't
So
always
you went in to fight for her.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm paid to do. You know, if somebody has, and the last thing you want, this is my sort of, if you like, bugbear with people like online providers and banks.
Yes.
Phone up and say, I need to make a claim. If you even have a number, and they'll simply say, here's your 0800 number, phone up.
Wow, yeah, which is what has happened to me.
Absolutely. Well, the problem with that is, if there's any kind of question mark around that claim, who's going to go into bat for you? Who's going to fight for you? Wow. That's my job. Because that's what I'm paid to do on those renewal commissions every month.
Wow, that is mind-blowing. And I have to say, I was always a bit of a fighter when it comes to insurance, but that's just really kind of changed my whole mindset. So I have to say thank you for that, because that's been really educational for me. Now, if you think you might be paying too much for your insurance, if you think you might have the wrong insurance, or you just want to ask a few questions, Katie is your go-to person. If she needs to get involved and has to go into fight for you, she will. All you need to do is head to her website. We'll show that again on screen here, vitalsure.co.nz. Now, when you actually subscribe to her mailing list, you actually get a free download. Now, this is a great download. It is actually loaded with the top questions. If you've already got insurance, these are questions you should be asking your insurance broker. And if you can't get the answers, you need to ask Katie. So head to her website, vitalsure.co.nz, to get all those details. Katie, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here in the studio. It's been awesome. And also I have to bring Deano over to the couch. Deano, thank you for coming on in. We're going to get Deano to zoom past the camera right now. There he is. You hunk of a man, come and sit down. Look, it's been great having you guys in the studio today. It's been a lot of fun talking about food and how to look after ourselves. There's so many synergies with health and wellness when it comes to insurance and to food.
Definitely.
And also having a nice dry home. So thank you, Deano. Thank you, Katie. Look, it's great having you guys here. Thank you so much. Rachel Thompson just said, great show, guys. Rachel, thanks for being part of the show. Lovely to have you here also. And remember too, if you've got a great product or a brand or a service and you want to shout it to the rooftops, come and join us here on the show. You can email us info@yourfix.tv. And I have to say a big thank you to all of the people who support us. Kathy Organics, Romina from Argentina, the beautiful people from Fabuleux Vu for my gorgeous jewellery, Simply Beautiful for my beautiful wrap today, and Evelyn Rose Lashes for my pretty peepers. You can find them all on Facebook. Well, it is time to head away, but remember, I do want to hear from you. I love having your questions as part of the show. Thank you to all those who submitted the questions today for Katie. If you've got other things on your mind, maybe you need to ask, what would Deano do? Maybe you want to kickstart your fitness, or just find out how to get a bit more motivated and put yourself first. That's what this show is all about. So get creative and share your thoughts on the Facebook page you're watching on right now. Well, it is time to head away. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to wave to you all goodbye. Thank you all for watching. We love you guys. Be safe out there, because remember, 98% of people are caused by accident. Love you guys. See you next week.